Good afternoon, everyone. Episode
14
of the Tweakers. I'm here with me, Harry Sheffield, Zach Leader, and Zach has a special guest to introduce.
We do. This week we are joined by the owner of Gridline Racing Indoor Karting Centre in Lincoln, Jay Frost.
Hello.
So this week we're going to be talking everything about Gridline. So let's just do a quick summary. So Gridline's been open for 15 and a half years of business, opened on the 5th of November 2006. Seems like probably a lifetime ago for you. In mid-2019, closed the doors to the public while they installed a mezzanine floor to allow the karts to run over 2 floors, moved the pit lane upstairs, extended the circuit length to 450 metres, and is now considered one of the best in the country and has been recognised by winning a business award and is the best go-kart centre in central England for 2022.
Love it. Nice.
During the COVID pandemic, the business was closed for 11 months due to all the lockdowns and government restrictions. Cheers for that, Boris. And is now going from strength to strength. So, let's do the standard get to know.
Welcome. Yeah,
the standard get to know yous.
Yeah.
Did you get a chance to prepare an unpopular opinion?
Prepare's a bit strong, but going by what you've just said, unpopular opinion, I actually enjoyed the lockdowns.
Did you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay. Good chance for a rest, wasn't it?
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
Yeah.
If you, like you say, Gridline opened 2006, it runs 7 days a week till 10 o'clock every night, as you can imagine. That's full on. And it's not till I stopped during lockdown you realise how full on that is. But in the first time in 15 years, I had nowhere to be, no one to worry about, nothing to do. And it was like a reset.
Yeah.
Like, actually, this is
a
like
lot of people are saying that.
A paid holiday.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, I enjoyed, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the first one. Second one was, all right. Third one, I was like,
Let's go back to work now,
please. There's time to get back. But no, I enjoyed it. At first, when it was first announced, I thought, this is a disaster. As you know, with all the money we spent, all the time and effort we put in, and then to be told you've got to shut the doors, it's like, this is the end.
It must have been hard, yeah.
But then once they announced all the help you was getting and everything else, and I was actually sat home thinking, this is like a paid holiday. I'm enjoying it.
It's surprising how many people have said that.
Yeah.
That have spoken to in the last couple of years. Who've actually said, I felt for me, being self-employed at the time, it was like a dream. Could actually get stuff done. It was amazing.
Yeah. Well, it's the first time I sat at home, and like you say, got jobs done, spent time with the family, and just had nothing to worry about. So, yeah, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, you could enjoy the free time that you sort of had, and I think we were all in the same, that it reminded us how much family time we maybe might have missed.
Yeah.
Definitely, over the years, and it sort of
especially
helped us.
during the time when you couldn't see all your family as well.
Yeah.
If it was fine if you was in the house with family, but if you was on your own, it must have been difficult. Must have been hard.
Definitely. You wouldn't want to have been on your own.
No.
I know some people, including some close family members of mine, it didn't do so well for, because they couldn't get out and about. I'm not saying it was great for everyone, but for me personally, I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Bring back lockdown.
I'm not sure it's something I want to do annually.
Monkeypox next, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that what's happening at the moment?
Yeah, well,
Well, there's all over TikTok about
the
these zombies
bulls
in China.
Save that.
Bulls box.
Save that thought.
Yeah. Okay.
He just said the word zombies or something.
Oh, great.
All over TikTok at the minute.
That's not really a lockdown, though, is it? That's more of a...
It could be.
Apocalypse.
If
you believe in zombies, Harry.
I don't. I'm just saying what I've seen on TikTok.
Yeah, because TikTok's right all the time.
I never said it were right.
Okay, you got your zombies out your system, well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Favourite chocolate bar?
Malteser.
Oh,
the Malteser bar,
I don't like Maltesers, but I like the Malteser bar.
Ah.
Yeah.
Nice, okay.
The Maltesers, I don't know, put my teeth on edge, but the Malteser bar is really
nice.
So, yeah.
See, I've got a little trick. You know, like with normal Maltesers, once you put it in, you have to sort of like get the chocolate off with your teeth first, and then you eat the biscuit.
No, I do
Let's
that.
not talk about your eating habits.
There's nothing wrong with my eating habits.
How many can you get in your mouth?
Oh, God, we did this, didn't we? How many?
Hold on.
Yeah. Okay, so For those who don't know,
this is a right challenge.
Obviously I've got to remember that people are listening that won't know this. I used to work at Gridline for 7.5 years.
Yeah.
And we did at one point a challenge of how many Maltesers can you fit in your mouth. We're just thinking about it now. Why have we not done this?
Right, make a mental note of that because that's happening in about an hour.
Yeah.
Down to shop.
I'm sure I got 30 something.
You'd get a lot of that.
You got 30.
What are you trying to say?
Don't know what I'm trying to say.
Surprisingly, he wasn't the winner.
No, I wasn't.
Wow.
What did Stanley get?
I don't
50
know,
something.
like 142 or something.
It was something stupid.
Oh my God.
Jeez.
I think he definitely deep throat that.
Oh yes.
I reckon he was sticking them here, you know.
He's definitely got a hidden pouch somewhere.
He's like
Yeah.
a hamster.
He's got
It
guts. Pelican.
That was something we ended up sort of going into lockdown with, actually, wasn't it? 'Cause
Yeah.
I remember at one point, it started off with a bag, and then it started off with the share bag, and then it went to the small boxes, then the big boxes. And by the time that we'd emptied one of the big boxes, we thought they probably ought to stop now.
It was getting dangerous, I think.
Yeah, it was.
Right, that's all we're doing later.
Okay.
Maltesers challenge.
That's fine. by
Look
me.
back
Yeah.
and see what the target was, and we'll have a go.
See if we can change
It'll be
that.
somewhere.
Yeah.
I'll still have the video somewhere.
I'm sure.
Do you have any fears?
Snakes.
Snakes?
Good for
Yeah.
you.
You'd be useless on Armor 11.
Yeah, definitely not me. But no, yeah, I've always, for some reason, had a fear of snakes. Well, I say for some reason, my mum seems to think it's from when I was young. When me and Jamie were about 2 or 3, it was in South Africa, and she'd put us in the shade underneath a cliff on the beach, and a snake had fell from the trees and landed between me and Jamie.
No wonder you don't
We
like
both went
snakes.
apeshit.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think that's where the fear of snakes come from. But I don't know why. I've never been near a snake since I was young.
Yeah.
But yeah, they creep me out.
Bloody hell.
They creep me out.
Do you know
It's time
what?
for a
They are
test.
quite creepy.
I probably will end up regretting saying this at some point, but I think I'd be better with snakes than I am with spiders.
Yeah, same.
I hate spiders. Like with a pack, but then I
Yeah.
imagine once I get. What are you laughing at?
You're scared of even the tiny little
Slippery
money.
shafts.
No wonder you love a bloody snake.
No, that's a fair point. Should have seen that one. Oh, I should have seen that one coming,
Yeah,
should I?
Oh,
Oh,
You
dear.
didn't even hear your own innuendo then.
No, I didn't.
you don't help yourself sometimes.
No. Do you know what, as well? I thought of you last night because I was. This is not linked.
Why
This
did you
is
say
not
that
linked.
after talking
It's
about
not linked.
snakes?
Slippery shafts.
Stop talking
I
about
was
your
at
dreams.
I was at Wembley last night, and my brother said, "Your hair's going quick, innit?" For years, I had the mick taken out of me for having a receding hairline, and now it's creeping into my
I
family.
nearly brought the shades in, but I thought the sun's would be alright.
It's going to be one of them episodes. Isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. Chuck that out the window.
Yeah. Do you have any pet hates? Now, yours is 11 Arifas, isn't it?
Oh, what?
So you know people.
we're
You know when
explaining
someone.
it.
You know
Oh,
when like.
yes.
If you've been to Tenerife, they've been to 11 Arif.
Yeah.
Always-
and don't ask
always
you
trying
about
to one-up
Tenerife. Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
trying to one up you.
Yeah.
That's mine anyway.
I would say my biggest pet hate, and I only got this, I was watching, because I saw your question, and I was watching a programme last night, and I had to turn it off. I watched Blacklist. Have you seen Blacklist?
Don't
I
think
haven't
so.
heard of that.
So we've been watching these series for ages. Anyway, I'm watching it, and I had to turn it off because this woman was whispering. I've got a thing about whispering. I can't stand it. It bugs the hell out of me. And I had to turn this series off that I've been watching because she was whispering, and I thought,
Is it just
Yeah,
general
just
whispering?
general
any
whispering.
whispering?
Also, it's more the sound than the thought of someone whispering about you.
Yeah, it's all of it. I think it's all of it, but it's definitely the sound. Because I mean, obviously, this was on a program, but it's just the whispering. I don't know why it bugs me. So,
Okay.
yeah, definitely.
Did you know that when you was working there?
No, no
Couldn't
idea.
you have
Whistled.
whispered down the microphone
hate
and
it.
that?
I hate it.
No.
And a new thing that's come to light, and for those who know will know.
I think I know what you're about to say. I've been told this, I think.
A new saying that I found
Yeah.
I really hate. It is what it is.
Yeah.
That's what it is.
It is.
The proper saying from TikTok, that is.
Is it?
Yeah.
Everyone uses it.
Yeah, it
that
is.
Instagram, everyone uses it.
Yeah.
It is what it
It's
is.
very Love Island, that.
For
Yeah.
some reason that bugs me. It is what it is. I'm like, just gonna smash it
I
in
tell
the
you,
face.
I tell you what I remember used to bug you as well, and I think it's because we oversaid it. But you know the Harvey Price
what a
meme.
day.
Oh, what a day!
What a day.
After every shift.
When that happened, that was the only thing anyone ever said.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
About
100%.
anything.
We used to
Definitely.
say it a lot, didn't we?
Yeah.
When we first.
All the time.
Yeah.
Well, not knowing where it came from or what it was, all I kept hearing was "what a
Oh,
day."
what a
And I'm like, it got to the point where every time I heard it, I wanted to kill him. I'm going to pull out a gun and shoot
Oh,
him.
And I bet you caused that.
Probably.
I might have been one of
Yeah,
them.
definitely.
Yeah,
You-
that does sound about right.
Yeah. You love copying the meme.
Yeah, I'm just a walking and talking
You big
meme, really.
meme,
aren't I? You big meme. Let's get down to business.
Okay.
So how did Gridline come about?
How?
Yeah, or where did so obviously? I mean, I know that you had the track at Hemswell Cliff before that, which was Moto Track, which was sort of like the pre-Gridline Racing business,
The
wasn't it?
tester.
The tester, yeah. So I mean, where did you obviously already had the experience with it. Where did then the opportunity for Gridline sort of come from?
Through breaking my leg. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, crazy, isn't it? I was working for a company in Gainsborough. We just had a baby. We just bought a house, and then I broke my leg quite severely, and it was non-weight bearing for 7 months. So I was literally sat on my arse with my leg in the air. Vicky had to get a second job just to pay the mortgage. I couldn't look after Charlotte, the baby, because obviously I couldn't even walk. I couldn't really barely look after myself. So we had to get a childminder. So I was sat there feeling pretty useless. The company I was working for decided they weren't going to pay me the sick pay I was due because of the way I broke my leg. I think it was just any excuse to get out of it. So
Charming.
I was miffed, as you can imagine. And as I say, after Motor Track, I always knew it was something else I wanted to do. It was just, it had to be right. So I had a lot of time on my hands, so I got a laptop out, come up with business plans, started looking into what it was going to cost, if I could find anywhere to do it. And the building that we're in now, I actually looked at when I had Motor Track in 2001. So that was still up for rent. I put in an offer, got it accepted. I hobbled into HSBC, told them what it is I wanted to do, and that's how it came about.
Yeah.
So it was really a case of having to find something and being miffed with the people I was working for, because they kind of let me down when I most needed it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's how Gridline come about.
Yeah.
Motor Track come about through going for a car auction to buy a car. Ended up coming home with a go-kart. And I realised go-karts don't run so well on the road. So I thought we need somewhere where you can take these and have fun, and that led on to finding out the indoor track in Lincoln was having to move because their lease was up. So I paid them a visit, did a deal, and before I knew it, and before I was ready, I was running an indoor kart track.
Wow.
So yeah, that's how it all come about.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Awesome. So obviously it's now massive since that first point. I mean, has it got bigger than you maybe thought it would have done, or is it?
No, I wouldn't say it's got bigger than I thought it was done. I would kind of hoped it was going to get to this point a bit sooner. Obviously 16 years has been a long time, and it's not been rosy all the way through. Obviously when we opened back end of 2006, and in 2008 you had the recession, everybody got laid off.
Yeah.
People didn't have no money. The last thing they wanted to do is go go-karting, and I just took out massive loans and invested everything I had. So it wasn't great timing, but as the time's gone on, obviously it's progressed. So it's nice to now be where I thought it should have been, maybe 10 years ago.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think it's got bigger than I thought. It's just got to where I hoped it could be.
Yeah.
It's just took this long to get there.
Yeah. Obviously, with starting any small businesses, anyone who listens to this who owns a business will know it takes a lot of sacrifice. I mean, just briefly, what sacrifices have you had to make along the way? Because 16 years is a long time to have your own business, and it's obviously proven really successful, and it's grown from strength to strength, but that doesn't come without, sacrifices and all those sort of things along the way.
No. Time, I would say, is sacrifice. The biggest thing, time. Obviously, we're indoor karting, it's 7 days a week.
Yeah, it's not 9 to 5, is it?
No, this is it. So, it's until 10 o'clock every night. So it's 7 days. There's no day off. It's full on all the time.
Yeah.
And like the holidays, school holidays, bank holidays is our busiest time. So it's not even like you get those off. Around Christmas, everybody's off and together with family. They want to be out doing stuff. So again, we're busy.
Christmas parties and
So,
stuff,
up until a few years ago, as we was even working Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
We had to force ourselves to close Christmas Day, Boxing Day and New Year's Day because people would still come. So it's full on. So as you can imagine, as like I say, Charlotte was born the same year as I opened Gridline. and I pretty much missed her growing up because I was at work all the time.
Yeah.
The missus couldn't be there with me running the business as we initially planned because she had Charlotte to look after. So she was at home looking after the baby. I was at work trying to start a business during a recession.
Yeah.
So as you can imagine, it was hard. So yeah, time with family, friends. Obviously, you sacrifice. All my mates were going on lads' holidays, and I'm at work.
Yeah.
You know. So
Yeah.
and financially, everything we had, we put into it. Everything. You know. So for the first 10, 15 years, it's been a case of just living on what we had to get where we wanted to, with the aim that, you know, hopefully we get to the point where we haven't got to worry about money, or you know, you haven't got to worry about your job, or if I fall and break my leg, am I going to get paid? You know.
Yeah.
So that was the goal.
Yeah.
Well, that sort of dedication and time, hard work and time put in will pay off.
It's perseverance.
It's pretty rare it doesn't pay off unless you make catastrophic errors, I would say.
I think
especially the amount of effort and time you've put in.
I think you'll find with any people that start a business, they'll tell you it's perseverance. You've got to persevere through the hard times, because if you don't, you know.
Well, it makes the good times feel better.
Yeah,
that's the other thing as well. When there is bad times, it then contrasts against when it is.
Yeah. So what I have learned, you know, you got to enjoy the good times where you got it, because they don't last forever. And although it all seems rosy, it can take a lockdown and you sat home with no income. So it changes quick. Yeah, of course. And from the outside looking in, if somebody hasn't run a business, the chances are they just presume it's always rosy. Yeah. I've always found that people think, oh, he's swanning around, must have loads of money. It's not the case, is it? Because you put it all into what I was having this conversation the other night, and someone was saying, oh, you know, things must be going well, and like they look it now, but you haven't seen what it's took to get it. You know. And even over the last few years, I mean, it all looks rosy looking in, but it's a case of, you know, it's only last year, in the last 12 months, I've managed to pay off 3 of the loans I took out 7 years ago. You know, it's not all what it seems. But I think the biggest thing you see, you know, from running your own business, what they don't see is it's full on. It's full on. Even when I'm not there, you're there. You know, you can't switch off. I don't feel as though I can just go and forget about it. So
no, there's no point anyone asking you how many hours you've done, is there? Because even when you're, if you're anything like me, even when you're at a family meal or something, you're still responding to emails because you feel you have to. Yeah. Can't switch off. Always thinking of that next thing, and you're either that way inclined or you're not. Is what I've found. You either want to be all into one thing, or you're fine just dabbling in a bit of work now and then. So I can certainly see that the dedication is why you're probably going to start or are already reaping the rewards, I would say. So that's a great story, that.
And do you know what? I've completely forgot what I was about to say. I've gone blank.
I interrupted you, so it was my fault.
But no, I've gone blank. If I remember it, I'll come back to it.
Okay, great. And then we'll edit it in somehow, Nathan.
Yeah.
We hadn't sworn yet.
No.
Shit in hell.
Bollocks, shit and fuck.
Let's give him something to do.
We're just doing it just to annoy him.
Yeah.
Don't miss out this fucking in, Nathan. Thank you. There you go.
Just keep the podcast man on his toes.
Because otherwise we'll give it to him and he'll think it's, oh, that's fine, intro, outro, and put it up.
All I've been thinking is all morning is don't swear.
Don't swear.
No, swear. Do it.
We've got all sorts of noises for it.
Sometimes we like a little hidden swear. Fucking hell. You've got to find that.
It's like planting seeds, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
It is,
Yeah.
Fucking hell. Sorry, that's out of my system. Go on.
Yeah. Is there, I mean, obviously when you are running a business, you're going to have certain goals that you want to sort of reach. Is it in terms of setting like one big goal or small sort of achievable goals that you then pass as you go along throughout running your business? So maybe obviously one goal might have been getting the second floor in and having it as a multi-storey circuit. So that's one goal ticked off, and then you go for the next one, which might be, I don't know, expanding the business in whichever way possible.
As I said, we're now at Motor Track. I went to look at that building in Lincoln, 2001 that was. And I remember getting the keys with the estate agent, walking in. And I walked in, and I can honestly say I pretty much saw what Gridline is today.
Yeah.
So that was kind of, as soon as I walked in, I was like, well, I could have a floor there, I could have a cafe there, there could be changing rooms there, and I kind of planned it all within 10 minutes walking in that building.
Yeah.
And it was 4 years later when I actually got the building But then it was 15 years, or say 2015, so it was kind of 9 or 10 years after that. So it's 15 years from that initial thought is when it's actually got to where I saw in 2001.
Yeah.
So you could say that was a goal, because that was the vision I had. It just took me that long to get there.
Amazing. I suppose one question I've got, I don't know if I'm going off track here, is there a ceiling to having one venue and so many hours in the day, to the point where you'll get to a point where you can't physically make any more money because of you can't get any more go-karters in, for example?
Yeah, I suppose there is. We're far from that.
Well, that's good, because obviously
it is.
You don't want to top out and not have anything else to aim for.
No. So obviously, if you got, we're now running 12 karts on track. When I started, it was 8. So as the tracks grew, we could increase the amount of karts we're running. We now, with all the new systems we've got in place, we can now operate. We're running 15-minute sessions every 15 minutes. And they're pretty much back-to-back from the time we open till time we close.
Yeah.
So you can't physically fit any more sessions in than we are doing.
Yeah.
So you could argue, if we were selling 12 karts every session, that's pretty much a ceiling.
Ceiling, yeah. Yeah.
We're not quite doing that. We are doing back-to-back sessions more or less 90% of the time, but they're not full. They could be 2, 3, 4, 5 karts at a time. So there's still room for growth.
Which you'll always want, that room for growth, to have something else to target. Otherwise, what happens when you hit that target? You've hit it and you think, oh, I've done that.
You buy that villa in Spain.
I'm done.
Mic drop. Yeah, fair enough.
No, already, to be honest, we've put mezzanine up over half the track, so there's still half to go. So by extending that, we can make the track bigger, or we can look at putting something else in, which we're now looking into. So
cool.
There's more to do.
Constantly evolving then, rather than there being that ceiling.
Zach will tell you, there's one thing we've not done is stood still. Because if you stand still, your regular customers will get bored. And they'll just start looking for elsewhere, because there's only so many times you can go around that corner in that car. So we're constantly changing karts, we're constantly changing the track, which I think is something unique to Gridline. There's not many tracks out there you'll go to. And they've changed the circuit.
Changing the circuit, what a way to get people back again.
Definitely,
I've seen it all on socials about changing the track and all those changes that you've got touch screens and everything in there now. That now makes me want to go back from when we had the experience before, which
exactly, and that's
is
the
part
idea
of the selling
it.
point. That's amazing.
The idea is give you purpose. It's like if you go to a track, you drive round and you come off. Well, how fast was I? Well, I don't know. We don't do lap times. Well, how does that go? Well, you don't know. It's kind of, well, I enjoyed it, but what's the reason of doing it again? It's like watching a film. You watch it once, but why are you going to watch it again? If they change something, you think, well, I'll see what that's about.
Absolutely.
So that's the idea behind it. It's just making it the best it can be and making people want to come back.
I'll tell you one thing that Gridline definitely has over other places within the industry as well, is we've always had, I keep saying we, always had a
stick of rock.
I know,
you will always bleed green, yellow and black, red.
Is atmosphere. Like any time that you'll like speak to regular customers or anything, they'll always say that the one thing that, obviously the new karts and new track and all that sort of thing, that always brings about, but it's always the atmosphere that's still at the core of it, because they like the Tuesday night Super Bowl event has pretty much the regulars come every week, and it's always the atmosphere that it boils down to that is the reason they're hooked on coming back, because the people that are there, the staff that make it what it is, the commitment that's been put in terms of, like, obviously making sure that the staff know what they're doing, everything runs properly, all that sort of thing. That all of that combines to make a unique atmosphere that I've certainly not seen anywhere else.
No.
And I think that's what sets Gridline aside from other places within the industry.
A lot of the comments we get, or I get as well, is they're always impressed in how well run it is. And I don't mean that from my side, that's from the staff side. If you can get the team working together and it flows and they can see there's a method. There's a method in the madness. This is the reason we can run 15-minute sessions back to back, which you'll probably not. I've not come across any other tracks that are doing that just as yet. And that's because your staff need to be on it.
But you're giving them the right training, they understand the routine.
Get into a routine, and that's what it is. Once you find that routine, everything just flows.
Yeah, that's for any business. I know obviously you can put it down to the 15-minute slots, but that feeling transfers to any business, doesn't it?
With any job I've had, in previous jobs that had nothing to do with karting, the productivity has always been high because I tend to find a rhythm. You find a rhythm to something, you get a flow.
Yeah,
you
definitely.
just get into that, and it just pops out. If you're just plodding back and forwards, and you don't really, we best get this on, and we best do that, and it's all out of sync.
Yeah.
But if you can get everybody working in sync and everybody knows what they should be doing,
they're all pulling in the right direction.
They're all pulling in the right direction, and it comes together, and that shows. And if parents are bringing in their 8-year-old daughter who's never driven a go-kart, and they see that, it puts the parents at ease.
Totally.
And it makes them. And then if they do go somewhere else and they're not getting that, they think, well, this isn't as good. And it's not necessarily the venue's not as good or the karts are not good. It's just they're not feel as comfortable.
Yeah, and it's easy to then lose that.
Yeah,
with the wrong stuff.
I mean, there was countless times when I was there that people would come up to us and say, "Do you know what? Your marshal's here." I mean, we went wherever it would be, and there was one lad in a hut in the middle of a great big track, and it took him however long to get to him before he even sorted them out and got them back going again. So, I mean,
and that's time you've paid for.
Yeah, it is.
So if you're charging for 15 minutes. You don't want to be sat for 2-3 minutes waiting because little Joey over the far end's crashed and it's taken plid plod to wander across to sort it out. That's time wasted.
Yeah.
Especially if you've got 10 people out there all paying for that time.
Yeah, of course.
So even though our track's not the biggest, there's plenty of marshals all the time. That's
what I thought when we went.
If someone crashes, there's someone there to help you. Get it sorted, get off the track, let them go. They've paid for 15 minutes. They don't want to be waiting for 2 minutes for some,
some absolute
nonsense.
I suppose we probably ought to speak about like the impact of COVID and. Because it is so recent and I think it's still recovering from it probably a little bit. I mean, how did COVID impact? I know something you don't. How did COVID?
Oh, yes.
COVID. How did it impact? That's where it's coming from.
That's it, yeah.
How did it impact the business? Sort of, how did you cope with the challenges that it presented, if you like?
Again, I would say it helped in certain ways. Obviously, like I say, initially when we first heard about it, it's like this is a disaster. Yeah. But then I enjoyed it, as I said, time off. It did me some good. And then as far as the business, it pushed us towards integrating online booking, remote registrations, and all this stuff that we felt that we needed to put in place to make the public feel comfortable about coming back. One of the biggest worries I had is when we reopened that people were going to be that scared of COVID. They're like, no, we're not going karting. You've got to put on suits. You've got to touch go-karts. Everybody's touched it and blah, blah, blah. So what we did, we integrated online booking. So you can go on the website, check availability, book your karts, get your booking confirmation, register all your drivers online. So when you walked in, you literally give your name verbally. You didn't have to touch anything.
Yeah.
Customers then given a free pair of gloves, free balaclava. They could sign a waiver so they didn't have to wear a suit if they didn't want to, if they didn't feel comfortable. So then as they go in then, they've got balaclava, which is acting as the mask. They've got the gloves on, brand new pair, which they can keep. They've not had to pay for it. It's all integrated in the price they've paid. They watch a video instead of being verbally briefed one-to-one with a marshal. And then they go upstairs and get in the go-kart. So it made us do that. And I think by doing that, it saved us no end of times because people weren't having to ring up and have you got space on Tuesday at 5 o'clock?
And you might not have ever found the time to put that system in place.
It's something I looked at years ago, but decided against it because I was always one for upselling and downselling. Yeah. As well as you might upsell a customer who wants to book a 15-minute race, you might talk him into doing 3 15s. Yeah. True. But then you might have a bunch of elderly gentlemen wanting to do an Ironman. You're like, it's probably not the best event. Maybe you need the race champions. Otherwise, you're probably going to die of an heart attack. So I felt you needed that interaction with the customer to upsell and downsell. But by introducing the online booking, it's eliminated all that. Yeah. So we're not inundated all the time with calls of, have you got space, and I'll ring my mates and get the money back, and or I best check before I ring you. There's just constant phoning back and forwards.
Yeah.
So now we haven't got that. You ring Gridline now and it tells you, are you aware? Can you can check your availability and book online.
Yeah.
And we're finding a lot of people hanging up, going online and booking it. So it saves us no end of time.
Yeah. And then when people do ring, it's the ones who genuinely have something that maybe isn't, as easy as just clicking a button. Like, it might be a genuine customer service question that we can then give the time to.
Yeah. So COVID from that point of view then.
It
sounds a bit more positive than negative,
We've come out of COVID now because of all the integrated systems and because of the new software and everything else. We can now run 15-minute sessions back to back, which we wasn't doing before. Yeah. So it was kind of the kick up the arse we needed to push on.
Yeah.
So we come out of it a lot stronger than we went in. And business has been it's at its peak. We've not been as busy as we are now prior to lockdown.
Amazing.
I think that's a combination of obviously the refurb we did just prior to lockdown.
Yeah.
But also because of the new systems in place, it's seamless.
Yeah.
We're getting a lot more people through. We can cater for a lot more people. So it's just kind of worked out well for us, to be honed.
Yeah.
I've got no
Every cloud.
complaints.
No.
This is it.
It is what it is.
It is
Oh,
what it is.
it is.
I thought I'd get that in there.
On that note, it's Harry's time to shine.
Is it
Let's
my
break
time?
up the business talk a little bit.
I need your phone, Gareth.
You might have noticed on the little plan that I sent you that we've got Harry's random fact of the day. I don't know if you've ever watched.
I don't know how it came about.
Well, I
just
do.
did.
So we quite like Ricky Gervais' show, the one with Carl Pilkington on.
Right.
And they have a section.
I've just seen it.
They have a section called Monkey
not
News,
that bad.
where
Right.
it deliver like something that's
I've
been in
got
the news
two.
about monkeys. This is Harry's random fact of the day. Are you ready for your little theme, Harry? You've got the buttons over there to
Yes.
do it.
Which one is it?
It's the heart one. It's the one that says.
You talk about things being seamless. No. I'm telling you what one it is. I know what one it is.
Which one is it then?
Bottom one.
Which bottom one?
That's one.
Harry's random fact of the day.
There we go.
Seamless.
Go on then. What's your fact?
This is so random.
Oh dear.
My god. Sea otters.
Right.
Right. Apparently, when they fall asleep, they hold hands with each other, so they don't kind of
Float away.
float away.
So they don't float away.
Yep.
What happens if they forget and they wake up one morning?
Well, they'll be.
Where's Dave?
One's in Africa, one's in Africa, one's in Cleethorpes.
Why is that a sea otter and not just otters?
Because the sea's bigger than a river, isn't it?
No, I get it.
There you go. That's why.
But are you telling me
I
normal otters
guess
don't
all
hold
otters,
hands?
Hey.
all otters hold hands, don't they? Then.
So normal otters do as well?
Yeah.
Well, I need clarification, really.
Well, both then, Gareth.
If they're in a pond, they ain't got far to go.
No, exactly. You can find each other in a pond, can't you?
That's it. Yeah.
Sea's a big old place.
So pond otters don't hold hands. It's because they're in the sea. They hold
Far
hands.
away, yeah.
Okay.
Dangerous territories.
What's your other fact?
Okay.
You got two.
Yep. So the hottest temperature ever recorded on Earth was 2 billion degrees Kelvin.
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 What's the conversion over to?
That's like being at Gridline.
Oh, for you maybe.
And just to give you a sense of how hot that is, the interior of our sun is only 15 million degrees Kelvin.
So it's hotter than the sun. How
Yeah.
did that happen?
So scientists in a laboratory
Okay.
created it through a superheated gas, and they heated it up to.
Oh, so is this like in a?
This wasn't like
in
a
a box
natural
there.
area, not natural. environment.
This wasn't just like
Scientists have created
on
it
the
and made it
equator one afternoon.
Oh Christ! Well, I could
Sunday,
I could say my flat's been
1920.
50 odd degrees because I put the gas on.
It's on there, alright. It's on the website. There's your random facts of the day.
I like the sea otter one. What was
Get
that
my
fact
phone
I
back.
told you the other day?
Google's always right. Isn't it?
Dolphins
Yeah.
sleep with one eye open. That was the one.
Oh,
I
they
told
do,
you.
yeah.
One
You said it was because
eye
of sharks.
Oh, well, it's because they're the
But
prey. not
sharks would then learn to come from the side where the eye is shut.
Yeah, but if they're like, imagine they're in a
Sure.
cave. That's the back of the cave.
You're
They're not going to close that eye, are they? They close the other one.
They'd have the open eye.
Yeah, looking
so
out.
it's looking out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but if they're in the middle of the sea and
They're not going to fall asleep in the middle of the
Shark.
Do you fall asleep in the middle of your house?
A lot.
Sometimes. It depends what day of the week it is. If it's a Saturday night, then
as soon as I get in from work or had a beer,
Had a fight with the toaster.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Have you got any random facts that you know of?
Not off the top of my head.
No.
You put me on the spot.
That's a bit on the spot.
That is a bit on the spot. Cheers for your random fact there, Harry.
And also...
Oh, God, go on.
Sorry, this is entered my head. Hawks hold grudges against people.
Hawks?
Yes.
As in the birds?
Yes, as in the birds.
Right.
So if an old Barry comes along, smacks it round head, next week he sees Barry, he'll be after him.
He's not in him.
The boys will be back.
I reckon seagulls hold grudges as well. There's no reason for them to be chasing me after my chips constantly.
I think it's the chips they want, not the person.
Yeah.
No, but I would then let go of the chips. The chips are in the bin now or something, or I've eaten them, and they're still after me.
It's because your nose is like a bee.
Greedy little son.
I didn't share, that's why.
Just share with the seagulls.
Instead of giving it to us, you chucked it in the bin.
Yeah.
I'm having your eyeballs.
This is a bit like the McFlurry situation.
Seagull beak.
Oh, yeah, thanks for the big nose. Yeah, cheers for that.
Go on.
Yeah, that's been pointed out since I've been here as well. Big nose, receding hairline. It's not looking good for me, this, is it?
Yeah.
Eventually, this might be holding this hair I've got left is holding me upright.
I'd give up on it.
Once that's gone,
I'd give up.
Full on shave.
I'd give up on it.
just shave it all
Go
off.
full Grant Mitchell. You'll save 26 quid a month.
Well, yeah, from my haircuts.
For your haircuts, yeah.
26
quid. Yes, 2 haircuts a month.
What's wrong with that? How many do you have a month?
I have one. But I have my hair longer than you, don't I?
Yeah.
His is full length.
Yeah, this is as long as it's getting. There's nothing left to give.
What's the longest you've had your hair like? Say if you was in lockdown, did you shave your hair or did you let it grow out?
Oh, no.
We all shaved our head in lockdown, didn't we?
No.
I got a mate to shave my hair.
I did. I like a potato.
And
During lockdown?
Yeah. I know, yeah. Naughty me.
Which hair?
And I... On my
Disgusting.
head. That was so unnecessary. And I tried, because I normally get a skin fade. Tried getting a fade. And it was basically the biggest step you've ever seen in your life.
Yeah,
you could have fallen off it.
Yeah.
That's how bad the step was.
Yeah.
But not only that, it wasn't straight, it was like that.
Yeah, and you're
Oh
paying,
yeah, mine was.
and you're paying for it now
Yeah.
by losing
What?
it.
No.
I'm joking.
But never, I'll never forget to the day I die my mum's reaction when she saw it. She sort of looked at me, there is going to be a need to swear here because I'm going to quote it word for word. She looked at me and said, "You look a cunt."
Oh yeah.
Your mum doesn't use a C word.
I know, that's how bad it looked.
God almighty.
Jesus. My mum cut my
you just-
hair and it was terrible.
Yeah, my wife cut
Well,
mine.
you just went for the full shave it all off, didn't you?
I did.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, straight
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
To be honest, I quite enjoyed it. Get out of the shower in the morning, didn't have to do anything.
Don't need to
Consider going back to it, to be honest. Yeah.
That's it.
Well, yeah, it might be better than that little poofy thing you've got on top of your head.
Hey.
At least it's
Coming
got...
from you.
Yeah, fair
You
point.
should only wish when you get to my age.
I know, yeah. When I get to your age, I'm not having anything left. Start having grey hair, there'll be no hair.
If you keep wearing those headphones so close to your head, it's going to start rubbing a bald patch at the back.
Oh yeah, Baldy.
Let's just remember, I was running motor track when you were born.
Yeah. That's a
Oh
good
my
point.
God.
Yeah, but I bet that makes you feel old, doesn't it?
Well,
I was born in 2002, so yeah.
Yeah, shut up.
But so much has happened.
2002, that was like
Yesterday. It's just a babby, aren't you?
Yeah, fresh out of nappy.
Do you know what upsets me though is that if you're going on a night out now, or if I was going on a night out, they don't need to look at my full date of birth. Just the year starts with a 19. That's enough. That's it.
Yeah, you're straight in everywhere, yeah.
Yeah.
Police are asking
That
me for
hairline.
ID.
Well,
Yeah.
to be fair, I mean, I still go into Aldi and buy like a bottle of wine for someone or something, and they still ask me for an ID, but they have to think 25, don't they?
Yeah,
So I take it as a
that's it.
compliment that they don't think I look 25.
Yeah, that's a compliment, yeah.
I take it as an
Yeah.
offence they don't even want to see my ID. I'm like, do you want to see it? No, you're alright.
Just have a look. Do it.
Please have a look.
we once went on a works night out, and I don't know how hammered this bird was, but she reckoned I was 40. I was like, no. Yeah. How much have you had?
That'll be the receding hairline.
40.
It will be, yeah.
I think-
she's
40?
Supping on baby sham.
I think at a glance you could pass for 40.
What?
Just like if it's a bit darker.
Yeah, but at a glance you could pass for James Corden. I don't know.
The moon.
The moon.
Very
The
round.
moon.
No, I'm joking.
Let's get back to business before this goes out of
Pluto.
control.
Okay, Bluto from Bastard. Bleep that.
Bleep that.
I'm joking.
You have been. We're getting back onto business now before this goes well out of control. You've recently been awarded from Prestige Awards the best go-kart centre in Central England for 2022.
Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Hold on. Yes.
Oh.
How many is that out of?
We don't know. Many.
Do you know?
There's a lot of go-kart centres in Central England.
It's not an official figure?
Not that I've been given, no.
No.
Someone mentioned to me, I don't know how they come up with that figure, 29. Whether they've just counted how many tracks were in the Midlands. But yeah, not that I know of. It'd be interesting to know, because if it was just us, then it kind of a bit but yeah, no, we got the awards.
Oh, cool. Is there? I presume there's a southern and a northern and all the different
There
areas.
was, it was all broken up into different parts of the UK, and I think to be fair, they do Europe as well. There was like a European award as well, and all that sort of thing.
So we got the best one in Lincoln.
Amazing.
I mean, obviously, how does it feel to have, finally, after all the hard work, all the sacrifices, have something that's actually been recognised by an industry, award for having the best go-kart centre in Central England?
Well, amazing. I mean, if you've been recognised, and like you say, it's compared to others in the same industry, and we came out on top, then
it's amazing.
It's amazing. Fantastic. But you feel more proud of the fact that, like you see, all the good reviews. I mean, they're the people that matter, is your customers.
Absolutely.
The people that are paying you to come. And at the end of the day, it's entertainment. They want to be entertained. So the fact that they've been entertained and they can go away and they take the time out to leave you a review,
and
or
they
tell
come
friends, and they're coming back, you can't beat that.
That's like an award in itself.
Best review possible, isn't it?
It's the best reward, So the fact that someone else has had a look at the reviews and said, "Oh, do you know what? You are doing well."
Yeah.
And the fact that if it's a case that we've then been compared to someone who's doing the same as us, but we're doing it slightly better. Fantastic. You can't beat that.
Would you almost go as far as saying now that Gridline's at the point where it's almost an industry leader? Because obviously you work with quite close with Fastline, who provide, they work with all sorts of go-kart centres, not just in UK, but Europe. Am I right in saying across Europe as well?
The world.
Across the world.
Yeah.
And they, I mean, as far as I'm aware, they always speak very highly of Gridline and speak to all sorts of different go-kart centres and business owners about Gridline and things that you're doing so well and recommend to them. Am I right in saying that?
Yeah, to a certain extent. I wouldn't say I work with them. I mean, they did a write-up on us on their monthly leaflet, just explaining what it is we've done, and I think they like the fact that we're pushing forward.
Yeah.
And I think that's the same as it should be for anyone. We're not standing still. We will replace helmets every year. We will replace the suits. We're giving gloves and balaclavas to the customers, and we keep moving. We're changing the circuit. So I think what Fastline are just portraying there is like, to those who are maybe not doing that, is saying, well, look, it does pay off by replacing helmets, because you hear all these horror stories, people going, like you said at the beginning before the show, is if you go abroad, generally everybody says it was a nightmare. It was dangerous. It's just a general consensus. Yeah. Within the UK, a lot of people are saying, probably not so much nowadays as they used to, but they used to say, you used to put old sweaty helmets on and, ripped old dirty suits that stunk and that. Well, if you change your helmets and you give him free balaclavas and free gloves and your suits are clean, then that just straight away puts you apart from them. Yeah. So I think that's what Fastline were trying to portray. And it works for them, and it would work for the tracks who did that. Yeah. And obviously...
Do you think... I mean, obviously you've got lots of experience in this industry now. Do you think that's something that maybe... not is necessarily a problem within the industry, but other things that people don't get right is they stand still? In that they don't necessarily look, because I mean we're always really like, we look for like the 1% improvement. So changing helmets, it might not seem like a massive thing, but it does make a difference.
Yeah, definitely,
100%. But that little bit there is in itself marketing. To link it to marketing, that improvement point is why you've got 357 Google reviews and you're on 4.8 out of 5. Little things like that, totally right. That 1% makes that extra difference. Yeah, that's what does that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Where we found, like you say, anything you can put out there on your social media is marketing.
Yeah,
so
absolutely.
Every little thing we do now, like you say, the touchscreen, you knew about that. So it must be through our social media. So it's showing what you've got to offer, and then people see that, and it's not only the fact that they can now come off the track straight away and look on that touchscreen and see where they rank. Because let's be honest, when you come off the circuit, first thing you want to know is, how did I do?
Yeah.
How does that
definitely.
compare?
Yeah.
Did I beat him that was on track with me? How does that compare to your regulars?
Yeah.
And
we've seen scores and talked about them.
Am I the best driver that's ever lived?
Yeah.
Definitely. That's basically all
we found out that
Louise Hamilton.
We definitely found out that you were.
We found out that I was.
I've never seen someone move independently with the car.
Didn't need one of those scaffolding inside. If we'd rolled over, I rolled over a couple of times.
I mean, we've just touched on it there. I mean, I think because obviously we are a media agency, so it's worth, talk about the media side of things. How do you feel that, because obviously you'll have seen that marketing and the way you do social media, all that sort of thing has changed over the time that you've obviously had your business. How do you feel it sort of benefits and helps your business in certain aspects of it? Like, I mean, for example, now with social media and the way it is, people can come off the track and they will, tag the fact that they've been at Gridline. They'll share their lap time. They can tag in their friends.
It's a very easy thing to tag in and something to show off about.
Yeah.
Very easy.
And it almost becomes its own entity within social media now. Is that it's a challenge, if you like. You challenge each other through that. I mean, so that's obviously something that will have changed over time.
Massively. I mean, you think when I started, there was no social media. We was going through the traditional, radio and menus and newspapers.
Yellow Pages.
Yeah, I
can imagine,
and it cost a fortune.
Yeah.
We were spending thousands and thousands. Yeah. And the thing is, you'd spend these thousands, but you'd never really know, did that work, did it not?
Yeah.
So then you kind of reduce to the fact is, well, now let's offer a discount voucher. So you're paying someone thousands of pounds to advertise in their publication, to offer a discount for a service you're already giving at the lowest cost you can possibly do it. Just to monitor to see if their publication's working for you. It was a kick in the teeth. You spend £1,000 with X publication, receive no vouchers back, and you think, that was £1,000.
Yeah, I mean, that was very 2008 till about 2012.
Exactly.
Until the absolute boom of social media has come back.
So the thing I like with social media now is you can put a post on there, you see everybody interacting with it, and you see who it is. You see all the comments, they start challenging each other, or you put a challenge out. Yeah. Mrs. Blogs has just come in and set such and such time. Can any of you beat it?
Yeah.
And I reckon I can do this. And then within a couple of days, you see these faces coming through your door. And the thing with Gridline is we've made it try and look the part, so it's colourful. So anybody takes a photo, it looks a good photo. So then they post it up there. Their friends see it and think, well, I can beat you. And you're like, well, come on then, let's have it.
I mean, the thing I like doing when I was there, I mean, you've obviously, like with the social media post, for example, you like say it's colourful, it's bright, especially at night as well, because with it being an indoor track, obviously it's all LED lights, all that sort of thing. So you could take a picture outside and the front of the building looks the dog's knackers. You walk in and it looks the dog's knackers. So you can take a picture of both side by side. And I think I put a post out once that said winter nights in the Gridline lights or something. It did really well, just because it looks amazing. Yeah. It doesn't need to, I mean, the good thing with that is that you can be really creative with your social media in posts and that sort of thing, and
because you know you're always going to get interaction.
And the more creative you are, especially in the entertainment industry, the more engagement you're going to have. And I mean, with social media as well, is that, I mean, before with marketing you'd be paying like say thousands for adverts in Yellow Pages or whatever it would be, and you don't really know what the outcome of that is.
Like with
Whereas
radio,
now with social media now you can stick 50 quid on a boost. You can target it specifically who you want it to be aimed at,
Absolutely.
What their interests are.
Definitely.
Which, I mean, for go-karting, I mean, you could have Formula 1, all that sort of thing, but then you can branch out to, I mean, they might have an interest in Love Island and all that sort of thing. You can, the possibilities are limitless, and you know it's having an impact.
But it's changing again now, isn't it? We're finding we're managing a lot of TikTok accounts.
Yeah.
But that's really difficult to judge what to do, when to do, and whether it's worked.
And what the impact is.
Obviously, I'm the biggest believer in brand recognition. You could go and put your logo anywhere. If somebody sees it, it's going to benefit something somewhere else down the line. And having a successful business like yours, you'll understand branding works however you do it, but TikTok is so difficult for us to monitor, other than the fact that you technically see how many people have viewed your brand or something going on. Comments, yes, it always leads to that, but it's not quite the same as Facebook in terms of paying 50 quid for an advert, getting it to 10,000 people, and then you start to see people drip through after they've commented. TikTok's just so crazy. The different market is, I don't even know where to start with it sometimes with the ideas you have. I just don't get it.
Yeah.
No,
but it's one of those things where it's very hit and miss, but when you hit the spot,
it's bigger than any
massive.
other platform. Yeah, it's massive.
I mean, the thing that's unique with, I mean, we spoke about it a couple of episodes ago when we had the TikToker on, but the thing with TikTok is that because it's almost a level playing field, so that you could go on with no followers at all, put on a video that's got, you know, the right content, the right hashtags, whatever it would be, and that one video can go viral.
Yeah.
Whereas on certain other ones, it might depend on how many followers you've got, how much engagement, all that sort of thing. It's different algorithms basically. Whereas TikTok, it's a very even keel, so anyone has got a chance of their content going like that overnight, and boom, you've got however many million views and comments and likes, and it's brand recognition at the end of the day.
It's always changing. Email marketing's different now. Everything's always developing, especially Google AdWords, like we talked about in the last episode. Google SEO and making sure your site ranks, but you could argue go-karting in Lincoln, you're going to be the only one that ranks for it.
Yeah, I'm getting inundated with emails about SEO. But like you say, because we've been around for so long and we're now linked to so many.
Yeah, your Google score's good,
so we're up there, so there's no need to be paying someone.
Totally agree,
But in the early days, that wasn't the case. We were paying for Google AdWords and etc. Because like I say, it's all changed. I mean, over the last 10 years, it's changed massively. But for the better. I mean, the fact that now I can walk in there, take a quick picture or a video, post it up, and it gets seen. And as you say, I put a picture up the other day, a touch screen, and you know about it.
Exactly, exactly.
So, and I always remember last year, was it? I think last year I walked into a laundrette in Lincoln, and the old woman in there commented on a post that Zach put out for us. It was the elf on a shelf at Christmas.
Oh yeah, I remember.
We had so much fun with that.
And she's like, I love it. She says, well, I wait every day for the update.
Oh, nice.
You know, it's crazy.
I walked into, in fact, it was Fedora's, the pub in Scunthorpe that we played football for. And Vicky behind the bar was like, I'm loving the elf on the shelf content. Absolutely loving it.
Yeah, it was good.
I mean, we had some laughs with that, didn't we?
Yeah, because you'd done some stuff with Spurs as well, didn't you? And taking the piss out of Tottenham and stuff
basically, like that. Jordan had drawn an Arsenal badge on my Tottenham calendar. I'd made the mistake of having a day off. And I came in and there's no other way of saying it, he'd bastardised my calendar.
Yeah, nothing wrong with bastardised.
And blamed it on the elf. And you know full well I was like, right, social media in this. And I think that one had a lot of engagement. To be fair, you know full well all the Arsenal fans snuck out of their little cracks.
Of course they did.
And it turns out I didn't even know that a few of our regular customers were Arsenal fans. But we had some great fun with that. I mean, the one that pings off in my mind straight away is the one in the Teddy machine. Jay came up to me, he took this picture, and I sort of saw out of the corner of my eye what he was messing about with something. Come up to me and was like that, and we just wet ourselves. And we thought it was gold. It was gold, to be fair. Although I found it was harder and harder thinking of creative things the more.
If you
24 days is a long time to change every day.
Yeah, if you decide to do it on the 1st, it's difficult to carry it on all the way through to the 25th. But that just shows, I think, that all the hard work from the Yellow Pages and the Links FM and all that stuff leads to the fact it's easy for your social media now to get impact. With what you do, it's easy for someone to comment because they've been before. They want to show off. It's an easy industry, isn't it?
You once people know you're there, if you can make all your customers come and enjoy it and then want to share that, it's gold. And that's the beauty of social media. I mean, you never got someone going home before and writing up an article in the Lincolnite saying what a great time they had at, So you can't beat it. Social media. Definitely.
Yeah, absolutely.
For just in case, Harry, Yellow Pages was.
something.
It was a yellow book.
I know what yellow pages are, Zach. I wasn't born under a rock.
Have you ever held yellow pages?
No.
Because they used to weigh about a ton.
He used to stand on it to reach the top cupboard.
You might have done. The rest of us could reach.
Wow. Insult the guest.
Claws are out.
Yeah.
It's all right. It'll get me back with a receding airline one before.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's easy to get you back.
Yeah. Why did that seem weird?
I don't know.
There's a joke in there somewhere.
Yeah, somewhere.
But I mean, the opportunities now that having good online. It's not just your social media, but it's your online presence as well. So like, obviously, you've optimized the website with online booking, and everything just looks like top dollar. It creates a lot of opportunity in terms of the people that you get in, the people who see it. I mean, we had earlier this year, we had Bennett's come in, didn't we? They basically ran a competition. For those who don't know, Bennett's is an insurance company I think they just insure motorcycles, don't they?
Yeah.
And they sponsored the British Superbike Championship.
Yeah.
So they ran a competition where they would have 10 BSB riders come go-karting, and people could win a competition to come race with them. They had 2 big race events. It was a full day thing. Obviously, people won these competitions and came race with them.
Yeah.
But I mean, when they were first, because they obviously emailed us and inquired about it, and they'd had a look on the website, they'd had a look across all the social media, everything like that, and they'd obviously done that for a few different places, and it was the fact that everything looked absolutely top draw, everything a bit, the commitment, and everything that'd been put in, basically led to that opportunity.
Yeah.
And it was an amazing day, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. One of the best days I think we've had at Gridline.
There was a lot of content. I remember you putting a lot of content about it and building up
the
to
content
it.
was
Milk
Yeah, I was trying to be polite. Yeah.
Well, why not?
Yeah, you rang it dry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The BSB's got a big following.
Yeah.
So when something like that happens, you make the most of it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, now I mean, with some of the people we got there and the day it was like I say, it's got to be one of the best days we've had at Gridline, for sure. So it was a good day.
Yeah. I mean, there was a point where, because obviously Bennett's came in like the day before, and they put all their branding up, so they put banners up, all that sort of thing. They had the BSB trophy there. There was a moment where everything was done before we left, and we just sort of could stand back and look around and go, "This looks mint. This is amazing." And then we just sort of enjoyed it from there, didn't we?
Yeah, but they did their own media and their own video, if you remember.
Yeah, they did. Yeah.
And their commentators, and they did a whole shebang, and it was mint. It was really good.
Well, they had the because British Superbikes is shown on Eurosport. They had someone from Eurosport who has like all the GoPros, all the camera equipment. So he was hanging it over girders, over the ramp, and everything. It was amazing.
Done.
Absolutely amazing.
Made it look top draw.
And I think, have people come back from, like if they came with Bennett's in the competition, have they come back?
Yeah,
since?
Yeah, we got no end of people come. It was funny actually. We were saying about Bennett's. I was in solicitors the other week, and I was waiting to be seen. I'm sat in the waiting room, and there's this. I suppose you call him a receptionist, but we're all in this big room, and he's sat there typing away. Everything's dead quiet, and then all of a sudden he went, "You're from Gridline." I am. And he went, "Bennett's were there the other week." He says, "All the BSB riders." He says, "Was you there? Was you working that day?" And I says, "I was." He was like, "Amazing."
John McGuinness there.
John McGuinness was there.
Yeah, I remember you saying.
Chris Walker as well.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
But I mean, to be fair, you get all sorts of amazing people. I mean, Lincoln City are regular there now, and you get players in all the time. And obviously, we had the Superbike event. Jake Quickenden came in, didn't he? He was on Celebrity SAS, who does win.
Well, I'm always amazed some of the people you get in there. You know, sometimes, and
it's good for people's content, though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can imagine us filming a day.
Yeah.
Having a competition between us.
Yeah. Why not?
Have to take Nathan.
Oh Christ, yeah.
He'd love to come with us.
He would. He'd love a good day out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes you go in there and you just stand there in awe. I mean, the pit bike nights we used to run years ago.
Oh, that was amazing.
It was like walking down a BSB or World Superbike paddock.
Wow.
All these names, you're looking at, wow, they've come here, pit biking.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? On this.
Yeah, but it was great. Well, it always will be, yeah.
Yeah, so.
Yeah, I remember those nights fondly. I mean, I was still in sort of like mid-teens, so I was probably like 16, 17, sort of coming towards late teens, and it was just, at that time I was absolutely in awe of the people we were getting in. I mean, like people like, Jake Dixon, the Haslams. I mean, people who follow the sport.
All your top
big
riders that you
names.
see now.
Yeah. They got the Gridline magic. That's what it was.
The touch of Gridline.
Yeah. We always used to say that, didn't we? And they'd come Gridline, and then they'd go win at the weekend or something. We'd say, it's Gridline, man.
Yeah.
Gridline.
Nice.
But I mean, obviously, do you feel that the media and marketing is like a crucial aspect then of, because I mean, sometimes you see that business owners don't, that it's almost like an afterthought, their media and their marketing and all that sort of thing. You're obviously one of those that understands how important and how influential it is on your business.
I think it helps because if people are seeing every week that I'm putting up the top 10 or top 20 of these categorised leaderboards, which I think is made a big impact. But if you're making a thing of, well, so-and-so's just set this lap type and so-and-so, they're like, well, I want to do that. I can
and
do
the people are going to
better.
tag themselves as well, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly. So you're offering up a challenge almost. And, you know, if there's something there and they think, well, I could be a part of that, and it just definitely helps. And it just creates a buzz around what you're doing. And it gives you purpose. I mean, like I say, if you came in and you raced around the track and at the end of it, I didn't give you a print out your lap times, or you didn't get the email lap times, or you didn't have the touch screen, and you're like, well, it was all right, you know, but right, what are we doing now? Whereas with Gridline now, what I'm trying to create is, well, I'm 17th. I can do better than that. I've only got to go 2 tenths faster, and I can be in the top 10.
Exactly.
It gives you a purpose.
Of course.
And the thing is, social media is just excellent for that.
And the thing is, as well, is that when people come in, let's say they break a lap record in their category, so whether it be over 40s or over 60s or under, whatever it would be. There's a post about it, and it makes it even more of a deal of what they've achieved, and it adds to that experience, doesn't it? I mean, even when people come in, let's say for a birthday party and they do a race event, post up the results on social media, and they can tag themselves in, they can share the photos, we'll take videos, anything like that. And I mean, it then sort of, it's almost like a snowball thing then, isn't it? People...
hopefully, they tag themselves in, a year later they get a reminder on Facebook. We had such a great time there. Let's do that again.
Let's go back.
You know, and then if we can couple that with like, well, come for your birthday, do a race event, you get yours free. It's like a no-brainer.
And you'll often find that people will come in, let's say, with their families, and they might own a business or something, and they've had such a good time with their family, they'll then bring their works Christmas do.
And that snowballs, because you'll bring Kathy out of the office, who's never been go-karting and didn't really care for it. She'll come and do it, really enjoy it, and then she'll be back the week later with her family.
Exactly.
She's got to try this. Which leads on to a kid wants a birthday party. A birthday party brings 17 mates, never been to Gridline. They all enjoy it. They all book their party. So it just snowballs on.
It's just word of mouth.
And it's only snowballing because of all that hard work and dedication. It's the only reason.
And it builds a good reputation then, doesn't it? I mean, that reputation takes you so far. I mean, all it takes is for people to be sat around. It might be sat at the pub and they go, "Oh, what have you done this week?" It's, "Oh, I went to Gridline. It was amazing." And instantly there, you've got. I mean, that's the best PR, if you like, that you can get. You can't beat that sort of PR.
You can't beat it.
I'm wanting to go now.
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll go one weekend. Yeah.
Let's do it.
It's not far, is it?
So the beauty of where Gridline is at now is because we've been there for so long. All the kids that came with their parents when they were 8 years old are grown up. It's kind of, at first it was trying to get people to know you was there and could come and try it. The trouble we had is because we're in a building, you drive past to the front, it doesn't look that big. And you think of go-kart and you think, well, go-kart's outside. You can't fit outside. And no end of people have said to us, I walk past Tesco's every week, but you think, indoors, it can't be that good. It's not till you get them in there and you let them have a go and think, wow. That's
it's hard to show that though on the outside of a.
It is
building,
a lot easier now with social media, and the drones footage and your websites. And I mean, it's far easier than it ever used to be. I mean, back in the days of old motor track, not everybody had websites and was on the internet, and it wasn't accessible on your smartphone. And
be handing out flyers and take a picture of like an advert in the newspaper, for example. You show a picture of your track with some text over the top.
Exactly.
And that's the only real way you could. Do of showing what you've got to offer.
Exactly.
And obviously, if everyone's doing the same thing, it's hard to differentiate in a way. And I suppose that's what the rise of social media is allowed to do. It's allowed to be your own brand, if you like, and be a bit more creative with it and stand out from the rest.
Also get the input of your customers. I mean, like you say, 360 odd reviews, and they're all pretty good. So that says a lot for you.
Absolutely.
it's like all of us. So we're all going away, whatever. You check your TripAdvisor or what, just to see, is it worth going to?
Is it worth going in? Yeah.
If you got 360 good reviews raving about it, then
definitely
you're going to go for it, aren't you? So
yeah. And then there's every element of that. I mean, that stems from the good customer service and good team that you've got there. It's everything.
Yeah, it's everything.
Absolutely everything.
It's a package. It's all got to work together as a routine, as a rhythm. It's no good having a bad egg in there with bad negativity, because if you've got that, then it's going to ruin it all for you. Do you know what I mean? So
ruin it, Harry.
Oh, no. I'm not negative.
The eyeballs flicking around here.
We caught each other's eye then.
Harry's looking for another job.
Can I work at Gridline?
Can you push a cart out of a barrier?
I can try.
Can you wave a flag?
I can do a good.
Oh, you'll do for him.
You're not strong enough.
No, there's nothing on you.
Yeah.
But I mean,
quick and nimble.
Who's going to do TikTok? Who's going to do TikTok?
No.
I'll give it a go.
We're not young enough.
No, that's a good point.
We're not.
You're too old.
I'm only 23.
You look 40.
Told you you'd get it in there.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I mean that's one thing you can always see at Gridline, innit? The passion. I mean that from yourself, from the staff you got there, like Jordan and Stanley, and everyone that's there. It just makes the experience all that much better, doesn't it?
Yeah, like you say, you've got to have people there who want to be there.
Yeah.
If you got people there who don't want to be there, that definitely shows.
Yeah.
And you get that at some of the other places I've visited. They're there just because they're there. You can ask them questions. I remember going to one place. I said, what carts do you run? He went, I'm not sure. I'll get the mechanic. And you think, my God.
You should know, really.
Yeah. The fact that there was a big banner across the track that said "Soddy" that kind of gave it away. Trying to start a conversation with this lad, but he was having none of it. But yeah, no, you definitely need people, and you'll look back over the time, and it's people who've got an interest, like yourself. You came along because you was interested to see what was going on. Yeah. And you come along, you was taking photos, and you asked for a job. But you're there because you wanted to be there, and you had an interest, so it made sense to hire. And it's the same with, like you say, mentioned Stanley. Stanley was a good customer. He enjoyed being there. He loved doing what he was doing. So again, Jordan, we just took pity on.
I'm cutting this up and sending it to
him. Jordan's. You get that one every now and then who stands out. Who's not just there.
Well recovered.
Yeah. I've got to fish myself out of the No, you get those staff members who go above and beyond, and Jordan and Stan are two of them, and that's why people are you try and keep hold of. You don't want the ones that are just turning up because they need to be there and just a paycheck and they're looking for an easy ride.
But they're more and more common.
They are, unfortunately, they are. But you try and wean them ones out, because if you can end up with the good eggs, that comes across and that helps the business grow.
Of course. Make the most of the good eggs.
Exactly, If you got ones there.
And you find they stay for, I mean, I was there for 7.5 years, and there's a reason why I was there for so long, is that because I enjoyed being there.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, who wants to get up and go to work thinking, I've got work today? I don't want to do it. No. And if you've got staff there doing it, it's like, well, it's time for you to move on,
Agreed,
if you've got a workforce that like being there, like doing what they're doing, that shows across the customers. And I think that's what we've captured.
Totally agreed, yeah.
We've definitely captured. But it's not just the staff that are there now. You've got to give credit to those who were there previous.
Yeah.
Because it was a lot harder 10 years ago. The job was a lot harder. It was a lot harder to make an impression than it is now. Because now we're in the fortunate place we have got what I would consider probably the best carts on the market. We've got the money to spend to install the second floor. Well, 10 years ago we didn't have that. We was to make. So you got to give credit to all those before as well.
And I think on that conversation, to round it off, I mean, we've got to give credit to your brother, because the amount of hours you two will have put in at Moto Track and all that sort of thing. I mean, to think now. I mean, I certainly remember when I was marshalling, and it's almost ungodly. It's like I can't even imagine it. I mean, I remember conversations we've had where, a cart would break, or a few cart, some people would come in, they'd smash the carts up, you'd be spending all night repairing them, and then you'd be back in. I mean, I don't even know if you'd go home, and you'd be in the next morning, people would be in again, it'd be a continuous circle.
No, I can remember many a nights, back in the day, Motor Track was open 10 till 10, 7 days a week. But we didn't have 18 staff we've got now. There was me, my brother, the missus,
Yeah.
you know, and we was doing all that ourselves. And like you say, unfortunately, the carts we had weren't as good. I mean, carts have come on a lot in 20 years.
Yeah.
But yeah, I remember many a night, I'd leave at 10 o'clock at night after a busy day. And Jamie would be there fixing carts. I'd get back in the morning, he's repaired 7 carts ready for the morning.
Wow.
And he's on 2 hours sleep and would go through it again, 12 hours. But a lot's changed. I mean, the job's a lot easier now than it's ever been.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, but without that sacrifice, like say my brother, myself, and that put in,
We won't be there now.
we wouldn't be there now.
No,
I
exactly.
mean, you couldn't open a place like Motor Track today.
No.
It just wouldn't work. Back then, we kind of scraped through,
Yeah.
and we made it work. So yeah, as I say, it was a lot of hard work in the early days, but it's getting easier.
Yeah.
It's definitely getting easier.
Good.
Awesome.
All that hard work's paid off.
Definitely.
Yeah.
There's a lesson there. There's a lesson.
Yeah.
I think there's a lesson. Sorry, I'm giving you footsie, aren't I? I think there's a lesson there to end on that. I just think stay consistent is what we learn in the TikTok one, as well as this when it comes to marketing, when it comes to running your business.
I think you have to put it down to
hard.
one word. It's perseverance.
Perseverance,
Definitely.
absolutely.
Definitely.
So consistency before, perseverance this time.
Yeah.
I think, amazing. Great to hear your story.
Thank
It's
you.
a great place to go. We'll go in a few weeks.
Yep, we will.
Yeah,
Get
definitely.
booked in.
Get it on
Need
the old
to do that.
TikTok.
Yeah.
Question is, who's going to win?
I mean,
I think it's going to be me.
Yeah, but you've got a weight advantage. You can add a trailer on his, can't you? Slow him down in the back. Or I'll bring my lad and he can sit on your lap. Then the weights will balance
Maybe.
themselves out.
Maybe. Yeah.
I'll still be faster.
Get the apex.
you wouldn't know, would you? I
Whatever.
was there for 7.5 years. You're not beating me.
Are you saying you faked it on that day?
No.
Did you not win?
No.
No.
You didn't win.
He was 4th.
Well, that's why he's not a Gridline anymore.
However, he claims he faked it.
No. I'll
have
let
enough-
you win. You know how we play badminton,
Yeah.
and you like a good game, so you'll drop a few points.
I'll like that, yeah.
Yeah. That's what I did.
It's just
Okay, it's all coming out now. Right. Okay, we'll end on that note, I think. Right, thank you for coming on.
You're
Really
welcome.
appreciate
Yeah,
it. It's
thank
been
you.
a
Yeah. For having me.
great conversation. What episode are we on next, and who do we have on?
Episode 15. It is just us.
Am I away?
Just us.
Are you away?
I'm leaving it to you, Anna.
Oh my God!
That'll
The
be
reins.
so good.
The gloves are off.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
I look forward to that.
I'm joking, Gareth. I'm joking.
Anything can happen.
Anything. Oh, you're not going to cancel yourselves that week?
Yes.
Whereas normally I'm
Oh.
cancelled.
Yeah, because you normally say something
I
inappropriate.
haven't said anything stupid this week.
No, you've done all right.
Yeah.
Well
Thank
done.
you again, because I'm being interrupted as saying goodbye. That's episode, what? 14
14.
of The Tweakers. See you next time.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.